it's me, JC, back from another ceramic hour live stream. Let's see. Okay, so we have the turtles in progress over here. Actually, that's the only thing we have in progress, but I think it would be fun to maybe like make some miniature things. I don't know if we'll work on the turtles today. I don't know. I kind of think it would be really fun to like just get some miniatures like going. Because if I don't start on something, then I just like forget about it. So I think that would be kind of fun. Let me see. I think whatever we use, I think I might. I don't know if we have to wedge the clay. I don't know. Let me see. Okay, I accidentally left this out yesterday, so this needs to be like rehydrated. Like a lot. Let me see. Let me put this, where can I put this? Somewhere over here. I don't know. Maybe this will be fine. I have just like very tiny bits of clay just sitting about. Let me get right. I dumped out my water. Do I have another thing to use a water bucket? Okay, let me just get some water real quick. I think we will need some. The water was like kind of stinky yesterday, so I was like, I'm just like gonna pour this in another bucket and then it's gonna just evaporate later. You don't want to put like your clay water. You don't generally want to put that down the sink. Like, you can kind of like pour the very top of it. Like if it sat for like a period of time, like a week, and then the clay particles like fell to the bottom of the bucket and you have like, it's very like clear at the top, you can pour that clear water into the sink. But as you like keep pouring, the clay that's settled will kind of like rush out and you don't want that to go down the sink. So yeah, so you really, I mean, generally don't really pour it down the sink. You don't really want to be doing that. Because it will clog your sink. Things that are not so good. Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of thinking like, can we just like take a ball of clay and like sculpt like a little miniature like vase out of it? I've never done this, so I think we're just gonna see how it goes. Maybe this is like way too much. Or I don't know. I guess it really depends on like how big of a thing that we're trying to get. Yeah, I have like no idea how this is going to go. I'm kind of like trying to like get it to kind of like mix together a little bit. Generally people do like throw tiny vases, like they'll actually have like a I don't know, some people have like a tiny wheel that they will throw off of. They're kind of like you can put, they're really tiny and you can put them like on top of your desk or whatever. I have no idea how this is going to go. I'm kind of thinking like maybe, I don't know, like maybe it's so tiny that it's really not that tiny. Maybe it's so tiny that like there isn't really like an inside, or I don't know. I don't know. Okay, we're just gonna see where this goes. I've seen like miniature, like necklace sized mugs. And they don't have like an inside. It's just kind of like completely filled with clay, and then it kind of like some of it was just kind of like taken out from the top, and then they kind of like underglazed it with like, you know, like it was like coffee, like it was filled with coffee. I feel like that makes sense. I wonder how big this is going to be. Or like, I don't know, should I just like scoop out a tiny bit? I don't know. I don't know where this is going, okay? I was thinking, because we don't really have like a topic to like any other topic to talk about, but I was kind of thinking about maybe talking about like what I've learned like working in customer service. The current job that I have, that I have had for like 3.5 years now, has been like, so I do like half graphic design work, and then the other half is kind of like customer service. So this has also been on the top of my mind because this lady, I think like, it was like, when was that? Like, so that must have been last week. I bought this mug. I bought this mug off of an artist's website. So I don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm kind of trying to like get this to be curved. I don't know. I really don't know what I'm doing here. I'm trying to get this to be like, have maybe a more pronounced curve. So I bought this mug. I bought 2 mugs. I didn't have an issue with the one. It was as expected. But if you guys joined the other stream, I mentioned how the other one that I bought was not what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be an off-white clay body, where it actually came with like a speckled clay body. And this was a pre-order. So I placed this order at the end of May. So it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe it took like 6 weeks to arrive. That's a long time. So it was so long ago, I don't exactly remember like all of the details, but like I know that I found, I follow this person on Instagram, and I got like an ad by her, and I was like, oh, like that is so cool, like look at this mug, and like it said like, like place your pre-order now. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's like just so beautiful. I feel like this looks like so like it really needs like a more of a divine shape, and I'm not really sure how to do that. So like I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, that is just, so cool. I just like immediately went over to her website, found it, added it to my cart, and then I was kind of like, I was checking out all this stuff, and I added this other mug to the cart too, because I thought that one was pretty cool too. I wasn't as excited for it, but it was pretty cool. So I can't exactly remember what the heck, like how she had the listing set up, but I just remember seeing it in like the listing photo, the one that I had seen on Instagram. I don't know how we're going to do the it's like cracking a lot. Like seeing it on Instagram, and then I was like, yeah, this is the one. So then I was all done, checked out, and then I got it, and I was like, this isn't what I ordered. And then she's like telling me that like the listing said like 6 weeks ago she's saying that the listing said that like something like it could come in the speckled clay body, it could come in the other one. And then I like looked at her website and it doesn't say that. And I was like, okay, like your website doesn't say this. And then she's like, well, I changed it like after you like emailed me about it. So I'm like, okay, like I don't know. Like this is like, how do I know you're not just lying to me? Like, because her website now, like, it's very clear, like, to, that it has, like, multiple, like, offerings. It's like, okay, you can choose, like, this shape, you can choose this mug in this shape, or in this clay body, or this other clay body. Like, it's very, like, clearly laid out. And I'm like, okay, well, I wanted the other one, and that's what I thought I was ordering. And like, I'm kind of skeptical. I've had another issue where I placed an order on somebody's personal website and they didn't mail it to me. Like, I'm kind of a little skeptical about like like I'm trying to be a good customer, like like people that have like a personal website, and if they happen to have an Etsy, it's always best to support them on the personal one, because then they can move away from Etsy and still know that they're getting sales. Like, as a business owner, I know that's what you want. Like, you don't want people to see like, oh, like they have a website but they also have an Etsy, so I'm gonna order from the Etsy. You want to be supporting people like on their personal website. I'm trying to do that. But I have been kind of skeptical, and this other person has just been a really bad experience. Like, the one person, like, it wasn't anything big. I ordered a few stickers. I ordered from her before too. This is Soon the Moon. I'm just gonna name drop that because I feel like her shop is very popular. For some reason, she hasn't been posting anything online. I don't know what the heck has been going on, but like, sorry, we're gonna sidetrack into this other story. So I ordered these stickers. They're stickers. I mean, it really wasn't a big order. It's kind of not really a big deal. But it kind of makes me upset because, like, at no point did she tell me that she refunded me, which is kind of the thing, the part that I'm having an issue with. I don't know if this is like done, but I don't know. Let's just kind of put it over here and I don't know. I don't really know where this is going. Let's try and make like a mini mug maybe. So I placed an order and it had been like maybe like a month, maybe 2 months. I reached out to her and I was like, hey, here's my order number. I placed this, like this long ago, like when should I expect this or something? And then like we went back and forth for an entire year. And she's been saying, like, I forget about it because like it's an international shipment. So like I know it's going to take more than a week to get here. And then I just like kind of forget about it. And then like months later, I remember. And then I like keep contacting her. But yeah, this has been going on for a month. Or no, not a month. A year. An entire year. It's been over a year now since I placed that order. And I was like, is this gonna ship or whatever? And she's like, I don't know what she said. And then it was literally just like 6 months later. And I was like, hey, I still didn't get my order. Like, I don't know what is wrong with this. Like, I looked at the shipping address, everything was fine. And I was like, can you send me another shipment? Because I guess it, like, I don't know. Like, if it wasn't delivered, it should have gone back to her. So, like, I don't really, like, she should have known if it didn't arrive, because it should have gone back to her. I guess there are cases where maybe that wouldn't happen, but it's kind of what should happen. Let me see. How do I like the size of this? It is going to shrink, so maybe this size is good. There are cases where, like, I don't know, maybe for some reason it wasn't delivered to either of us, but I contacted her and she was like, okay, I'm gonna like send another one. And then it was like later, and then I was like, did you send it? Because I didn't get anything yet. Like, that was like months later again. And then she's like, yeah, let me get the tracking information. And then it was just like months later or whatever, or like a week later. I don't know. It was later, much later. And I was like, do you have that information? And then she like never responded to me. And I'm just like, okay, like, what the heck? Like, I ordered from her previously. Like, I ordered a mug and it did arrive. I have the mug. And it's like, for some reason with the sticker order, like, I don't know what she's doing. Like, did she ship it? Did she not ship it? Did it get lost in the mail? Like, why can't she answer my messages? Like, she still has, like, to this day has not answered my messages. Like, the last one that I sent her. And I think I followed up with her twice and not gotten anything back. So I'm kind of a bit, like, upset about how buying from a few of these places has gone. Obviously, if a customer emails you, like, you need to email them back, right? Like, I feel like that's a no-brainer. Like, unless it's just like some weird thing, like it looks like a scam, probably, like, in that case, you probably don't have to send any message back. If it's like super weird and just like incoherent, or they're asking for your like bank information, like something like that, obviously you don't have to reply to that, and like you can mark it as like a scam. But someone has an order number and they're like, hey, I didn't get this, like what the heck? Anyway, so this is kind of where I'm coming from. That was like the last issue that I've had with making an order online. I have purchased from, people's own shops and stuff before. Like, this isn't anything new. I don't know really. I feel like I would say that it's more common that the orders that I've placed have been probably on Etsy. I don't really know like how many times I've ordered from ones that are from their own website. I'm not really sure, but I have done it before, and usually there's no issue with it. I think like a lot of the time, people that have a handmade business really want to like go above and beyond for their customers, so that they keep coming back. That seems pretty obvious. So anyway, like this lady though, like it's a little bit more, complicated, in terms of like maybe how it should be handled, in like a customer service aspect. But like, like I've had, shop owners lie to me before. This lady said that she mailed my shipment, like, that other lady, she said that she mailed my order when, like, I guess I don't know if she did, but like I never got it. So I'm kind of like, just because someone says they do something doesn't mean it's true. Right? I'm just trying to be like skeptical. So, this lady is telling me like, oh, like whatever, this is what the listing said, like when you ordered it, but like I changed it, so now it doesn't say that anymore. And I'm like, okay, well, like, I don't know. Like, you kind of have to trust what I'm saying too, though. I know there's kind of like controversy over that kind of like overused phrase, like the customer's always right. Like, this is my experience. I thought I was ordering the one in the hero image, which is the first one that comes up when you're, just looking through the shop. That's what I thought I was ordering, and that's not what I received. Like, I don't know, like, if why you expect people to like read like a paragraph of the description, when people are just going to like look at the picture that is in the listing. I don't know, like, that is definitely like on me, because like apparently if what she's saying is true, which I don't know because I can't, I don't have any kind of like proof of that. But if what she's saying is true, then, I should have gone and read the listing, but I just saw the one. I was like, yep, that's the one that I want. And I ordered it. I didn't know there was like more that I needed to know. And also, can I just say, like, this is her personal website. There is nothing stopping her from creating a separate listing with those different variations. Like, nothing stopping her. It doesn't cost more to create different listings. It used to, like, say, for example, on Etsy, back in the day, they used to charge you more to make separate listings. But if you have your own website, nothing. Like, there is no charge for that. So I'm like, why did you put all of these different aspects into like one listing and then you write it in the description, like, where nobody's going to like, I don't know, like, okay, I know from selling Etsy, nobody reads the description and nobody reads the, like, the title of pieces. Like, nobody does that. Like, people shop with their eyes, and, like, I'm definitely one of those people. Like, I don't know. I didn't know I needed to know more. I saw the picture of the one that I wanted and I bought it. Like, it really wasn't that much more complicated. And it seemed like a decent size. It actually came, when it came, it was like smaller than I thought. Like, it's a bit smaller than a normal size mug. I also mentioned this to her. I don't know how mugs are, mugs, cups. I don't know how they are, like, measured, but I would assume, and this is how I measure my mugs in terms of, like, in the listing, like, saying how much in terms of, like, ounces, like, it can hold. I measure, like, I would say, like maybe, like, a centimeter-ish from the brim. Like, that's how much it holds. Like, not filling it up all the way to the top. And that's how she measures it. She measured it, apparently, by exactly how much the mug can hold. And it's like, nobody's going to fill it to the brim like that. Like, like, what? Like, I asked my mom, like, what she thought. Because my mom's not an artist or anything. She doesn't do any of this kind of stuff. I was like, well, what do you think makes sense? Do you think it's, like, literally how much the cup can hold? Or do you think it's, like, the extent of, like, how much a normal person would fill it? And my mom, like, kind of, like, sided with me. Because I'm like, why the heck? And it's like, what the heck? Anyway, because I did mention that to this lady, and she's like, well, I don't know, I could have measured it wrong, but anyway, this lady is, like, so, oh my gosh, she really, the way that she was answering my emails was very, like, just kind of, it didn't quite seem rude the way that she was, like, answering them, but she was just coming up with a lot of excuses. And she was just, like, saying a lot of I don't know what the word is. When it's, like, rude, but it's not, like, super rude. It's just, like, it's, like, teetering on that line. I don't know what the word is, so I guess I'll just say rude, because I don't really know I don't know what to say. I don't know what the word is. But she was like, well, you're the first person that's ever had an issue with this. And I was like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, that has nothing to do with this. Like, it has nothing to do with it. And she's like, I've had my business for, like, this long, and I've never had issues with, with anybody ordering in this way. And, like, you're the first person that had this issue. And I'm just like, did you think you were going to run a business and never, ever, ever have any complaints about anything? Like, like, I mean, come on, let's be realistic. Like, it really doesn't have to do with anything. Like, and it was like she was kind of, it just kind of felt like she was guilt tripping me to be like, oh, like, this is my fault. Like, I should have just, like, like, read the entire description that you wrote. Like, man, I mean, come on. If you've never had somebody had an issue with, like, something that should have been read in the description, like, you don't have a business. Like, literally everybody. Like, I've had people order from my shop and they give me, like, a 4-star review. And they're like, it's not as big as I thought. And I'd be like, the size is in the description. Like, literally that is probably, like, the number one thing if you sell anything. Like, it's not as big as they thought it was. So yeah, so she's just like, I don't know, like it was just like really unnecessary to like say that and to be like, I don't know, like, I mean, I feel like if you say like guilt tripping, that's kind of like, you know, saying it on purpose to try and make someone like back out or whatever, or like to change their mind. I mean, I don't exactly know like what her intent was, but the only thing that it could have possibly done is like made me feel bad. And like you shouldn't say anything to your customers to make them feel bad. And I was, you know, like from my perspective, I was talking from my perspective because like I have no idea what this listing looked like 6 weeks like before. Like I have no idea. But like as I remembered it, it just wasn't what I ordered. So like I don't know, I'm just kind of going from my perspective and like the things that I know, because like I don't know, I don't really trust people as much. From that one other shop just completely not mailing what I ordered, I'm a little bit like not as trusting, like slightly not as trusting as I used to be. So I was like, okay. I was like, well, this is, you know, that was like my baseline. Like, this isn't what I thought I was ordering. And, you know, I think you should cover the shipping for me to mail it back to you. Because, like, on my end, like, from my perspective, like, it seems like you sent me the wrong thing. Like, it just seems like I wasn't sent what I ordered. And she was having such a hard time just, you know, like accepting, like just trying to help me, you know, like I have no idea like what the real answer to this was. Like I don't know like if she was wrong, if I was wrong, like because there's no way for me to like know that at this point because she went and changed her website. But what you're supposed to do is just like, you know, believe your customer, believe the what they have to say, and, you know, just try to make things right. I know it's not as easy to do if you are, you know, if you are a small business, like certain things could be harder and they definitely could cut into your bottom line. Something that we do without any question, like if somebody says that they did not receive their order, we go and send them a new order. Like that can definitely like cut into your bottom line. I think if you are a small business, you really need to kind of, I think that kind of thing, maybe you would want to think it over if you can do that. I have had people try to like take advantage of me on Etsy because I was a small business and, you know, saying things like, oh, like, I want a refund because it's not what, you know, it's not how I wanted it to be. And then they say they're going to send it back to you and then they don't send it back to you. Like, I don't know, like things like that. Like you really, like as a small business, like I think you do need to take care of yourself if you are super uber small. And this lady is like, she replied to me. Okay, for one thing, she only replied to me once a day, which if somebody is escalated, you know, they're not happy, you should be replying to them like more than once a day. I understand, like maybe as a ceramics person, like maybe you're off in your studio or something, you know, and you're not at your computer because ceramics, but like you shouldn't be replying once a day. You should probably try to reply as soon as you can to, you know, help them out. Like Like, you're there to, like, help your customers. And I know from working in customer service, like, some people are just really difficult. And you don't want to help them. But, you know, sometimes you need to help them. For one thing, like, I was a new customer. Like, I've never bought from this shop before. But I really put, like, my trust in her to buy, like, not just one piece, but 2 pieces. This cost me over $100. Like, I put a little bit of trust in her. She should put a little bit of trust in me. That's kind of like what I'm, kind of what I'm thinking. Like, some people will buy the cheapest possible thing that they can buy, and then they'll, like, complain about it and, like, be like, you need to send me a new one. They're, like, asking for, they're asking for, like, so much. Some people are like that and just, like, trying to take advantage of you, which you need to be careful of. You need to assess the situation. But I was like, I wasn't asking anything ridiculous. I was like, I'll send this back to you. Can you, and when you get it, can you give me a refund? But, like, because this isn't what I ordered. Like, can you cover the shipping? Like, I don't feel like I should cover the shipping for it because it's not what I ordered. And this wouldn't be happening if I got what I ordered. Right? That makes sense, right? And then she was just like, no, you should cover it because whatever. And I was like, but this isn't even what I ordered. Like, we wouldn't have this problem if I got what I thought I was getting. Like, I don't know. It is kind of complicated because I really have no idea, like, what exactly happened because it was so long ago. But, like, what she should have done, and, like, this is in her second reply to me, she was like, this isn't Target. I'm a small handmade business, and this is cutting into my bottom line. Okay, let's go on a side note before we get to, like, what she should have said. And, like, this is also the part where she said a second time how, like, she's never had this issue before, and just kind of, like, drilling in this kind of, like, what's that word? You're just trying to make someone feel bad, like guilt tripping. She's just, like, drilling in, like, the guilt tripping at this point. And, like, no, it's not cutting into your bottom line. Both mugs, what they cost for her to ship to me was $10. If I'm shipping one mug back the same distance, it's going to be under $10. I would estimate just generally from shipping things, I would estimate it would be $6. Let's say it's going to be $6 to ship back to her, just the one mug. She's giving me all this trouble, like, over $6 when I spent like over $100 on the order, like, and, like, I was asking for a refund. So I don't know how. I think they weren't the same price, but let's just say each mug was $60. I was only gonna send the one back, and I was planning on keeping the other. So your margins should not be so slim so that you cannot afford to, cut out $6, out of the other mug that I bought. Does that make sense? Like, and I was like so upset because she really was just, like, spewing things. Her margin is not, like, she's saying that her margin, like, doesn't account for that. Like, it's not, like, her margin isn't going to cover that, when in fact it is, because I also do ceramics and I know how much things cost. And I know from a mug being $60, like, what you're mostly, charging for in ceramics is time, because the clay doesn't cost that much, the glaze doesn't cost that much, the whatever your decoration includes, it doesn't cost that much. The majority of what ceramic artists have to charge for is time. Time to, like, sculpt it, put it together, all of these things. So I'm like, at this point, she's just, like, flat out lying. And I'm just like, my trust was just, like, going down the more that I was, like, thinking about it. And it was in the second email that she sent me that she was like, she really, the way that she was sounding in her emails, she really was dragging her feet on this, and she really didn't want to help me. And she finally did say, like, like, whatever, like, I'll just, like, cover the shipping. And I don't know, she was, like, going off about something about how shipping labels have been a trouble for her. I don't know what the heck she was talking about. And, like, I was like, talking about this to a few people, and I don't know, just, like, the more I was talking about it, I was just like, it really had just, like, kind of ruined, like, not just one day, like, a couple days for me. And I was just so upset about it. I was just like, I don't, like, this lady is just not really somebody that I want to support. It's not easy to be, buying handmade things right now. Like, everything is expensive. It's $20, like, for a meal at Taco Bell. Like, it's expensive. Much less buying stuff that's, like, handmade. And I'm just like, like, she really gave me such a hard time and really was not very nice or helpful. I was just like, I'm just going to send both of them back. And I told her, I was like, I know we didn't agree on this, so I'm going to cover the shipping. You don't have to refund me or anything for this. Just refund the order when it gets to you. It's just been such a disappointing, and stressful process, because I was thinking about, like, the mug that came that was fine. I don't know, like, I sort of regretted buying it. It was pretty cool, but it was not as exciting as the other one. Like, I was so excited to buy the other one. And I was just thinking, like, every day that I drink coffee out of this mug, it's just going to remind me about this lady and the trouble that I had, dealing with her. Like, that is what I'm going to think of every time I see this mug. It's like, you know what I mean? You just kind of, like, attach, like, memories to certain things. Obviously, like, souvenirs. You're like, oh, remember that time that I went to this place and I had such a great, time overseas or whatever. Like, the same thing happens with negative emotions. And that's what I was thinking about. I was just like, I'm just gonna, like, every single time I get this mug out and I'm gonna drink coffee from it, it's just gonna remind me about this lady that, really was kind of being rude to me and, just gave me such a negative experience. So that's just kind of like, I hope that makes sense. Like, why I also returned that one, because I was just like, I don't want to just be constantly reminded of this. It's kind of like, like how you're constantly reminded of, like, your ex or something when you, like, see, like, certain things, like a movie you watched or whatever. Like, not that extreme, but, like, it's just kind of like that general idea. And I was just like, I don't want that. So I sent that to her, and I was like, you know what? I also run a handmade ceramic business. And because I do that, like, I know that your margins can't possibly not account for $6 for me to ship this back to you. Like, and if it's costing you more than that, you need to, like, try using, something, like a, what's that called? Like a shipping service like Pirate Ship or ShipStation, if it's really costing you that much money. So not only did I give her that tip, I did tell her, like, I run my own business, but I also work in customer service. And I don't know if it just sounded rude, but I was trying to kind of, like, give her some tips. I was like, like, you should be cutting down on your shipping costs by doing this. And I told her, like, there's nothing really that complicated. I didn't say it like this. I don't know how I phrased it. But there really isn't anything that complicated. I think, like, about just saying, I'm so sorry your order didn't come as expected. I can see how that would be, like, really disappointing. Here's like a solution. I gave her the solution that I wanted. I said, I want you to cover the shipping. I want you to refund this when it gets back to you. Like, I gave her the resolution that I wanted. Most people don't do that. Most people, like, don't know what they want, or I don't know. Some people, when I work with them, I don't think they know what they want as, like, a resolution. But, like, you should apologize. No matter if it's the customer's fault, you just need to apologize, and then give them, like, a resolution. Maybe you have a couple different options. Something that I had thought about was, like, an exchange, having her make, like, the one that I wanted. But I'm just like, I don't, after this whole thing, like, I don't trust this lady. I didn't trust the fact that I had to sit around for 6 weeks for it to arrive. And then when it arrived, like, it wasn't even, like, what I thought I was ordering. So, like, my trust really wasn't there, initially. So, sometimes that can be a resolution. Like, oh, like, it didn't come like how you wanted, but, like, what if I made you the one that you thought you were gonna get? Like, that could be a resolution. But, like, the trust just wasn't there. And then the more she kept talking, the more I didn't trust her, because, she's saying things like, well, I can't afford this because I'm a small business. And I'm like, you're kind of full of BS. Like, you're full of it. Like, I did not say anything remotely to that or anything rude, but I was just sitting here thinking, like, you are full of BS. And I can't believe that, she initially didn't know that I do ceramics. So she was just going off about her margins being too small to accommodate, you know, covering the shipping. Like, she's just full of BS, and she's just kind of lying to customers, and I'm just like, you can't be running a business like that. You should never be lying to customers. You know, and like, you don't know who your customer is. Like, she didn't know that I do ceramics. And she was just spouting off all of these like excuses and stuff. And I'm just like, right. Like, I don't know, like, the trust just was not there. And then when she found out that I was going to send the whole order back, she was like really mad, and like she was just like going off about like anything that she wanted to, that she was like, you know, holding her tongue about earlier. But now that I'm not even, you know, keeping the other mug, then she was like, I don't care. She's like, I am just going to say what I want and just lose this customer forever. If anybody, I don't really want to give the shop, because like, I don't want you guys to buy from her. But this is Ridgeline Ceramics. She makes beautiful pieces, but clearly doesn't know how to run a business. Other than like generally knowing how to price her work. Her work is very standard, I would say, price-wise. But any other kind of like business aspect, I'm just like, man, like she was just so rude, so incredibly rude in that last like follow-up email. Like, I didn't need to say anything more because I gave her the tracking number and that was it. Like, I don't need to say anything. But I'm just like, let's review. I had never bought from her before, and I bought not one, but 2 items. Not even just like, you know, like, not even just like the cheapest things in the shop, but like, you know, like, I paid like over $100 for this order. So like, that, there's something to be said about that. There's certainly something to be said about somebody that pays over $100 on their first order than there is somebody that paid $15 on their first order, you know? And I, you know, I like to support like people that make things by hand. I like to support artists, and it's not always easy because obviously it costs more than like buying something from, you know, some big box store. But like, I like to try and support artists when I can, and the things that I think are really cool. You know, like, even though I make ceramics, like, I will support other ceramic artists. Like, I bought in a bunch of ceramic things, even though like, you know, someone might say like, oh, well, you make them, why don't you just make that thing that you bought? You know, like, but like, I'm still supporting like other ceramists and stuff. So like, if this transaction had gone well, obviously she would have kept the money that I paid for the order. She better as heck refund me, because I am going to be upset like no other if she receives them and then does not send me a refund. She is so like, I don't even know what word I want to use that would be appropriate for online. But we're gonna have some issues if that doesn't happen. And she's gonna hear from more of me, because well, she already didn't like me when I was using like, you know, a nice tone. She's like gonna like not like me even more. she doesn't refund me. So what was I saying? So I spent this much money on a first order. Like, that should be seen as a valuable customer. Obviously, all customers are valuable, but if you're looking at all of your customers, like the ones that are paying more than one thing on their first order, like, you should realize that they really like your work and that they will most likely keep supporting you later on. So, because she refused to pay that initial, like, $6 that it would have cost her to cover the shipping of it back to her, and she gave me all of this gruff and just bad experience. Over $6. She lost that whole over $120 order, plus anything that I possibly would have bought from her in the future, which, I don't know, maybe the second order would be another $100. So that's $200 that she lost, or however much. Like, she sacrificed all of this because she didn't want to pay $6 in shipping. Like, from a business perspective, does that make sense? No. Like, no. Nothing about that makes sense. Other than the fact that she really has no idea how to run a business, or how to treat her customers. Like, I'm just like, I don't even think she even thought anything about it. She didn't think, like, oh, like, at no point did she, say, like, oh, wow, maybe because this person spent, like, over $100 in my shop, like, maybe I should respect them. And, maybe if I treat them well, they'll come back again and buy more things. Like, at no point did that even cross her mind, because, like, you need to value your customers. And I'm just, I don't know. All of the stuff and all of the trouble that she gave me was so ridiculous. Oh gosh. I don't know. Like, I feel like it was kind of a no-brainer, because that $6 in it, if that's what we're going to do, if that's what we went for, could have come out of the money that I paid for the other mug. In terms of, like she's still making a profit, because you should set up your business. I've said this so many times. I said this in the last video. You should set up your business so that you can offer discounts. You can offer a 10% discount and it's not going to cut into your bottom line. You can offer 20%. What you should ideally be doing is offering it at a wholesale price so you can sell it for 50% of, you can sell it for, okay, so if you did wholesale, the store is going to take 50% of the profit, you get the other 50%. Like, you should be pricing your work to allow for that. So for her to tell me that it's cutting into, like, her bottom line was just complete BS, because, like, for one thing, her mugs, like, are definitely bringing in profit. Like, it's not that slim of a margin. Like the whole thing, the whole thing was just, like, really bad. I have so much more, like, customer service tips that I would like to, like, share with people, because, like, that's kind of like, it's kind of like one of the aspects of my, I don't want to, like, throw Twitch under the bus. We talk about random things here, but, like, my YouTube, kind kind of like focuses on ceramics, but also like some videos that help you as a small handmade business, or just like general artists. Like all of those things kind of wrapped up. So hopefully that kind of makes sense for sort of like why we were talking about this today. I feel like that kind of like comes full circle. Does that make sense? Anyway, that is our video for today. I hope, actually I kind of want to get like maybe a little, I don't know if we have like a good, thing for like a thumbnail for the video, but, I'm just gonna put these up so I can like get a screenshot later. But yeah, like I mentioned, all of the Twitch videos are uploaded to YouTube because they're deleted off Twitch after a week. So be sure to check out the YouTube at calieandco for more videos. Be sure to follow or subscribe wherever you're watching. Like the video if you're on YouTube. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to talk about more customer service. Maybe. I'm not sure. But I will see you guys later. All right. Bye. Have a great day.